Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to begin by thanking Ms. Kayoko Goto, Acting Assistant Secretary General for Political Affairs, as well as Ms. Edem Wasono, Director of Operations at the Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs. I thank them for their briefings and for telling us about a conflict that has lasted far too long. Mr. President, a ceasefire is needed. France calls on all members of the Council to unite around a complete, immediate and unconditional ceasefire, which has also been requested by the Secretary-General of the United Nations. It calls on Russia to accept it and to engage in good faith in peace negotiations. The cessation of hostilities is a demand of the vast majority of the international community, as was shown recently by the official positions of the Group of Friends of Peace. Ukraine has repeated many times that it is prepared for a ceasefire. It accepted that in March when it was proposed by the United States. Ukraine has also for months expressed its readiness for peace negotiations at the highest level. Russia, on the contrary, continues to intensify its strikes on Ukrainian territory and multiplies its delaying maneuvers which fool no one. Ending this Russian aggression is a flagrant violation of the principles of the UN Charter. Stopping it is everyone's responsibility. Allowing aggression to achieve its aims would open the door on every continent to aggressive policies of revising borders, in violation of the territorial integrity and sovereign equality of states. Mr. President, the reports the Council has just heard remind us, if it were necessary, of the unacceptable humanitarian situation that Russia continues to impose on Ukrainian civilians. 26 dead, including 3 children and nearly 100 civilians in the city of Ternopil alone during the night of the 18th to the 19th of November. A few days earlier, a hospital and an embassy were hit in the capital in violation of international humanitarian law and the Vienna Convention. Among civilians, Russia also targets journalists. On the 3rd of October, French photojournalist Anthony Lalican was killed in a Russian drone strike while carrying out his work and while he was wearing a press vest that clearly identified him. As winter approaches, and as every year since 2022, Russia is relentlessly attacking energy infrastructure. After thermal power plants and gas storage facilities, even electrical substations connected to nuclear power plants are not spared by these strikes, endangering nuclear safety and security, as the Director General of the IAEA has reiterated. By imposing long power outages and sometimes heating and running water outages, Russia is once again seeking to break the resistance of the Ukrainian people. But the Ukrainian people are resisting. Mr. President, France unequivocally condemns the continuation of Russia's war of aggression against Ukraine, as well as its irresponsible incursions of the Russian forces into the airspace of the European Union and NATO, and its serious acts of sabotage and destabilization in Europe. France recalls its unwavering support for Ukraine's sovereignty, independence and territorial integrity, reaffirmed yesterday by the United Nations General Assembly. The visit of the Ukrainian president to Paris this week, which enabled the signing of a declaration of intent on the delivery of 100 Rafale fighter jets to Ukraine, shows that France is continuing its commitment, along with all of its partners, to increase its long-term support. We are working towards a just and lasting peace. That is, a peace that does not mean Ukraine's capitulation, that preserves Ukraine's ability to exercise its right to self-defense, and that makes it possible to prevent future aggression in full respect for the independence and sovereignty of Ukraine. Thank you.
I thank the representative of France for the